And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Robotics. ABC News.
Hey, good work.
Russian troops continued their offensive operations in and around Bakhmut during...
Boom! What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Good to see you guys. Welcome back to Unspecified Podcast, where again we just have a litany of.
Okay, can y'all believe we had a whole show set up, and then once again timing struck and couldn't get to it, and so like half of it just got poof tossed out the window, and it was a good.
You mean set up like the other day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was a good half too.
Yeah.
Just couldn't get it with it fast enough.
I'm saying, guys, it's a struggle. All right. James, what's up, dude? Patriot Lady, Charm Life Lady, Jorge, what's up, guys? God the Son Jesus Christ saves. Nate Too Good. Good to see you guys. Indy, what's up? It's good to see you. My dog Thor. Good to see you guys. All right, so we have a lot to get into. It's jam-packed. It's probably going to take a while.
That's
but
right.
Just hang with us because there's some stuff to see.
You may see a poll on your channel, okay?
Yeah.
We did get a comment that was, kind of actually a pretty good idea that maybe we chop it up. But, our live stream is kind of our bread and butter. Like, this is what we're used to. So chopping it up would mean, I don't know exactly. So we just wanted to see what y'all think. If you could take just a moment and give us your honest opinion on what you think on that.
Yeah, and not only that, guys, we just want to thank you for being here tonight with us, guys. We're very appreciative of y'all hanging out, watching us, telling us your thoughts, which is what we're bringing this all to you for, is really just to see what you think, or if you saw this stuff. There's a lot going on, and I think it leads to what we're heading towards as a country, as a nation, as a people, moving from what was to what they want, or and I guess who is for you to decide, but anyway, guys, if you could help us in this day and age, we have a new law coming out. Don't know the severity of this law yet. I'm going to try and put it on the screen here. If you can read that, let me see here. A new draconian law has just gone into effect on August 25th that institutes extreme censorship of the internet on a global basis. So, these days, in this kind of, speaking truth or like just talking about stuff with an open mind or free thinking, which is what we've always supported, it's being heavily censored, right? And so if you guys could smash the like on this video, share it out with friends and family. We'll be talking about this article in a little while. It goes along with a lot of other stuff that we're going to be talking about tonight. Checking in on Florida, checking in on New York,
Right.
Trump, Biden, McConnell. Okay. Just touching on some stuff and moving fast. We have a lot to get into, so we don't want to get too bogged down on any one thing. But guys, like I always say, I can't tell you how much it's been helping out the last live streams. If you guys will leave a comment after the show, like in the comment section down below.
That's right.
It boosts, I don't know, something the algorithm wants or likes, and it's very much a little tickle, a little juice to the algorithm. It really helps a lot, and we really thank you guys for it. And subscribe, or consider subscribing. Hopefully we can earn your subscription. Anyway, with all the house stuff that we have to talk about, because just begging, please help us, please. Because yeah, as we get closer to the elections, the censorship is gonna really, we're gonna have to really be careful with what we say.
That's right.
And the topics we cover and how we cover them. It's already hard enough just to avoid basic copyright stuff that gets you in trouble. And we want to take this serious when we want to bring you guys a podcast that or whatever this is. We want to bring you guys at the very least a hangout where you don't have to feel like you're going crazy, because it's going crazy out there.
Yeah.
It's not you.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean?
For me, it used to be kind of like I would see all these very clicky, very doomsday headlines as I'm scrolling, and you don't want to talk about it with people because you don't want to, get anything started. So it's just nice to be able to kind of run through it with people and just be like, hey, did y'all see this? What do you think? Is this something or not?
And that's why we're thankful to have you here.
That's right.
Again, we thank you. You could be anywhere else in the world, and somehow or another, you're here hanging out with us, and we love you guys, and we thank you so much for hanging out with us. So, bro fist to y'all, and let's just go ahead and hop into it. We have a lot to get into, of course. So I just thought we'd start here. This is where I thought we would start. Okay. Trump says that Biden is leading our country to heck. Okay. That we'll end up in World War III because of this man, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, honestly. What do you think about the T-Man's position, and what exactly do you see coming of this whole arresting and, the mug shot, which shamefully we still have for sale, so if you wanted to see that, it's on the first link in the description. You can go to our store and check it out. You can check this stuff out if you want. No big deal. Just a real quick plug. But yeah, I mean, this dude's got some serious fire going on right now, and support from a lot of people. And folks have their flaws. There's things that he supported that I didn't support. Like, well, what for the hardcore people, with the red flag, okay, warp speed. I understand some folks are flawed, and he's like the best option. I get that logic. But with, people learning things about the new candidates like Vivek
Right.
or whatever, I hear he's like big pharma Vivek.
Oh,
And
really?
he's like backed by like Soros and stuff. That's not confirmed. I haven't done my research. I'm just going based off of people I trust that have said these things.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah. And, DeSantis, I really like him, and I really like where he's at. And so it kind of looks like it's that way. Like that.
We heard a
everyone's-
while back that he was Soros back too. I don't know if
DeSantis?
Yeah, but I don't know if that got debunked or what. I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know
need to
about
look
that. I don't know
into it.
about that, but
But one thing I want to mention on that topic is it's not even about necessarily who's right. There's also the factor that the left hates him so much that I think they would rather see it burn than see him lead it and back into a good spot, if it's even possible at this point.
yeah.
And so like there is a real, now how big of a population, what percentage that is, I don't know. But I know that there are people that live and breathe. I swear it's like they wake up just to hate this man. You know?
Yeah,
I mean,
big time. On an unhealthy level. Right. Anyway, let's listen to the man. He's in here talking too much. That's unlike us, isn't it? What's up, dopey dude? Vic, what's up?
The left-wing lunatics are trying very hard to bring back COVID lockdowns and mandates with all of their sudden fear-mongering about the new variants that are coming. Gee whiz, you know what else is coming? An election. They want to restart the COVID hysteria so they can justify more lockdowns, more censorship, more illegal drop boxes, more mail-in ballots, and trillions of dollars in payoffs to their political allies heading into the 2024 election. Does that sound familiar? These are bad people. These are sick people we're dealing with. But to every COVID tyrant who wants to take away our freedom, hear these words: we will not comply. So don't even think about it. We will not shut down our schools. We will not accept your lockdowns. We will not abide by your mask mandates. And we will not tolerate your vaccine mandates. They rigged the 2020 election, and now they're trying to do the same thing all over again by rigging the most important election in the history of our country, the 2024 election, even if it means trying to bring back COVID. But they will fail because we will not let it happen. When I'm back in the White House, I will use every available authority to cut federal funding to any school, college, airline, or public transportation system that imposes a mask mandate or a vaccine mandate. Thank you very much.
can you pause it where you can see his face real quick? But you can see just exactly where his little cups go.
Oh, you're terrible.
When he's suntanning, can't you?
But listen to this.
Crooked Joe Biden is not only dumb and incompetent, I believe that he has gone mad, a stark raving lunatic with his horrible and country-threatening environmental open borders and DOJ, FBI weaponization policies. He is a mental catastrophe that is leading our country to hell. We'll end up in World War III because of this man, and for no reason whatsoever. Thank you. Crooked Joe Biden.
So some quick points there.
Can't argue.
Okay, but moving straight forward to what's Biden talking about.
I don't think anybody can deny the impact of the climate crisis anymore. Just look around. Historic floods, more intense droughts, extreme heat, significant wildfires have caused significant damage like we've never seen before, not only throughout the Hawaiian Islands in the United States, but in Canada and other parts of the world. We've never seen this much fire. And while we're dealing with this latest extreme weather event, I remain laser focused on recovering and rebuilding efforts.
There's that term again. He remains laser focused. Why, man?
Because
when he can speak a coherent sentence, this is what he says?
Yeah.
Man.
He's poking fun right back. This is his...
You think they don't know what's going on?
This is his version of Let's Go, Brandon. He's like, I'm laser focused, guys. Oh, don't make me look at you.
In Maui. We were out there, and many of you were there as well. It's devastating what happened there. When I took office, I directed my team to raise our game in how we lead and coordinate our responses to natural disasters. And because I've been around a while and I've known how these function, to ensure we met people where they are, when they need our help the most. Because
$700 and billions to Ukraine.
Oofta, 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 oofta,
Okay.
oofta.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right.
So, man, Mitch is having a hard go at it.
Oh, there's so much I'm not saying.
Running for re-election in 2026.
you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026?
Uh-oh.
All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator.
It's just so awkward. I've seen this a lot of times from different angles now. And apparently he's like, you know, from this angle you can't see it, but he's grabbing onto the podium because he's like about to fall over.
Uh-oh.
So he's really, they can't get him to move because of how hard he's holding. Of course, I was watching Tim Cast earlier, and that's who it was talking about it. And he's like holding on to that podium, trying not to fall over. Okay.
But somebody else had said like this was not a stroke. Or
No, I'm not saying it's a stroke.
No,
but
I know.
It's some episode of something. Okay, whether it be mental or physical or a combination. It's you know, it's definitely. Yeah, Love to Garden, a glitch, right?
Right.
Like where he just glitch, he's out of there for a hot minute. But this one seemed to be serious, okay? But I mean, what about term limits? You know what I mean?
Right. Or even age limits. You know, at what point can you say, okay, you know, maybe this isn't in our best interest.
Yeah, percentage of Congress over the age of 70. And you can kind of see a steady trend upward. It's pretty bad now. Over the age of 70. There are too many old people in charge. They're completely out of touch. Who else thinks this needs to change?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Okay. But, I mean, the poor guy. See, he's holding on to the podium. She's trying to pull him away.
Okay.
Somebody else have a question? Please speak up.
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
That's
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator.
Yikes. I mean, he's out of there.
The wink,
They're just
too.
calling it an incident.
Right.
But it supposedly reminds others of Biden and the obvious cognitive, you know, challenges.
Benny.
I mean, there are just some members that are so old. It's like at some point, age is going to become
Right.
like a liability.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, like, if we were in the heat of something, this guy was asked, you know, I'm not trying to knock him. I see that this is clearly, you know, I'm trying to
Right.
speak in love. But if we were at like DEFCON 4, we were in the middle of some sort of crisis, right? And I mean, he gets asked in this situation about re-election, and he's like zinged out. He's like, "Whoa," you know what I mean? Like
Right.
something happened.
Yep.
Peak stress. I don't know, but I mean, what if it was something more serious?
Right.
We would have. Well, I mean,
And I'm not saying in his situation, but hypothetically in this situation, dementia is a real thing. So, you know, if there were a member that was suffering or diagnosed with dementia, would they tell A, would they tell the other members? B, would they as a collective whole tell the American people? And how long would you have to wait? I mean, look at Venezuela. Their president was dead for like 3 months before they told the people, allegedly.
right. I might need to tell. What's up, bro? He says, Ashley says it looks like he's having a seizure, and so does Carol. Carol agrees. She says it's like a type of seizure. I don't know. You know, I medically, I don't have any of.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what this is. It almost looks like a clever way to get out of certain questions, maybe. Like if the question's too hardcore, just kind of, it's a new strategy these days in DC where you just kind of glitch out, stare out into nothing.
I could nail that. I could do that so easy. No problem.
I don't know.
I think it's a mom skill.
All right, Andy, we'll see you. Much love. Yeah. I don't know, man. But I think we need to have term limits. age limits.
Age caps. Yep.
Yeah, an age cap. Percentage of Congress over the age of 70. Yeah, I don't know.
And that's not necessarily just for, the people. That's also, at a certain age, I don't want that for people, because if I disagree with you, I don't want my pity, or not even pity, but I don't want my respect for your age to interfere with my, disagreeing with your politics or your values. Because those are two different things and they shouldn't mix. And likewise, if I disagree with what you're saying, I don't want to feel like I can't speak openly because of your age.
Yeah. Eli, what's up, man? He said he glitches out when he thinks about what will happen to him once his usefulness is done. Whew. Well, that's what they asked about re-election. He's like, oh crap.
What's up? Sorry, I tripped over my words.
Okay.
See, look at me.
It's okay.
All right. What's up, Eli?
What's up, man?
That's what I was going for all along.
All right, let's see. So let's just get a baseline.
Is resetting completely. The post-war order is collapsing. NATO is going to collapse, obviously. You can't have the driver of NATO, which is the United States, sabotage Germany's main source of cheap energy in Nord Stream. The Biden administration blew up Nord Stream. First of all, it was the biggest act of industrial sabotage in history. Second, it was the largest man-made CO2 emission in history, which if you're a global warming cultist is like the devil himself come to Earth. And the Biden administration did that. But third and most important, it was an attack on Germany, which is the most powerful country in Europe. Western Europe is America's last main ally, and we just attacked our most important ally. NATO cannot stand long term. At some point, the Germans are going to wake up and be like, wait a second, we had chemical plants 2 years ago, now we don't. You just wrecked our economy. I don't think it can continue after that. I really don't. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see how it does. The world is resetting.
Yeah. It's dude is on fire right now.
That's right.
Truly uncensored. But
Ashley B, thank you for your comment.
Yeah.
That was what I was
just about to comment on.
And minute detail. I was thinking that same thing, but I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to seem insensitive. Because truly, looking at the video, this is what I was thinking before I saw the video. I had only heard, like I was listening to it from the other room. So in my head, I was thinking, well, what if it's one of these new AI robots and it's just not like, it's got
robots of his version.
It's got some bugs to work out, you know. But then I saw it and I was like, oh, I don't know. That just seems like an elderly, person that's
a hilarious comment. Robots of his version aren't self-aware, so he is unable to compute a question about himself.
Mm-hmm. I don't think about that right away.
That's funny, man. The problem is that the World Economic Forum have a big puppet in Germany, and the population is so low in IQ, much like the USA and Biden, that they won't fix their problem and take it out of power. That's the problem. And the reason why Germany will fall and the Germans will disappear off the planet as well as the USA. I'm sorry, I'm just reading comments. Wow. Yeah, I think he's on point. Sorry about that. I saw this. I really wanted to show you guys.
Resist a tyranny, you must be independent of that tyranny for your subsistence. If the government provides your food, your clothing, your shelter, your education, your job, your medical care, your retirement, then the government controls you most effectively indeed. If that government should ever become tyrannical, and they have a way of doing that in history, then you've had it, my friends. We believe that one of the greatest lessons of history that so desperately needs to be relearned by the American people, our forefathers knew it well, is this. Anytime a government is powerful enough to give the people everything they want, it is also powerful enough to take from the people everything they've got. You cannot have one without the other. Even if collectivism were not morally wrong, even if it did produce a higher standard of living, we would still oppose it because freedom is more important than prosperity. To resist...
That was beautiful.
Yeah. Anyway, about that new draconian law has just gone into effect on August 25th that institutes extreme censorship of the internet on a global basis. So the internet just changed forever, but most people living in the United States don't even realize what just happened. Draconian new law known as the Digital Services Act went into effect in the European Union on Friday, and it establishes an extremely strict regime of internet censorship that is far more authoritarian than anything we have ever seen before.
Are we breaking it right now?
Well, I don't think it's in the U.S. yet, but I think that it will
Well,
be here.
if it's global.
Right. Well, it's going to, from Europe, it's going to affect how, and Canada's trying to do the same thing.
Okay. Well, let's see. I want to read. We got to figure out what's going on.
From this point forward, hordes of European bureaucrats will be the arbiters of what is acceptable to say on the internet. If they discover something that you have said on a large online platform that they do not like, they can force that platform to take it down because someone in Europe might see it. So even though this is a European law, the truth is that it is going to have a tremendous impact on all of us. From this point forward, nothing will be the same. It is being reported that the DSA literally makes large tech companies legally accountable for the content posted to them. The European Union's Digital Services Act, DSA, has officially gone into effect. Starting on August 25th, 2023, tech giants like Google, Facebook, Amazon, and more must comply with sweeping legislation that holds online platforms legally accountable for the content posted to them. Even though this new law was passed in the EU, we'll likely see far-reaching global effects as companies adjust their policies to comply. Initially, there will be 19 giant online platforms that will be forced to comply with this new law, ranging from social media platforms to online marketplaces and search engines. The list so far includes Facebook, TikTok, X, formerly Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Snapchat, Amazon, Booking, AliExpress, Zalando, Google Shopping, Wikipedia, Google Maps, Google and Apple's mobile app stores, Google Search, and Microsoft's Bing. So just about anyone that you know or use. But on February 24th, 2024, the Digital Services Act will start applying to a much broader spectrum of online platforms that have fewer than 45 million monthly users. We are being told that this new law will establish clear rules that online platforms must follow that will include censoring anything that is deemed false or misleading under the strengthened code of practice on disinformation. So, I mean, you could even see folks like us just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. So, all right. Well, to be seen.
Yeah. I mean, it keeps going, but, so what kind of speech is the DSA expected to police? Last year, strengthened code of practice on disinformation defines disinformation as false or misleading content that is spread with an intention to deceive or secure economic or political gain and which may cause public harm. The code has already been put to work during selections, right? I mean, I'm sure that boat sailed for us. And to respond to crises such as the Wuhan Wiggle and the war in Ukraine. And it really doesn't matter if material that European bureaucrats consider to be false or misleading is actually false or misleading at all. What matters is that if online platforms do not comply with what they are being told to do, they will pay dearly. Online platforms that don't comply with the DSA's rules could see fines up to 6% of their global turnover. According to the EU Commission, the Digital Services Coordinator and the Commission will have the power to require immediate actions where necessary to address very serious harms. A platform continually refusing to comply could result in a temporary suspension in the EU. So, weird.
Very.
Like a global law.
And just wait, because I imagine this is the first of many. My dog Thor said, "Can you share where we can watch that video, please?" But I'm not sure which video.
Which video? Right. This video? Or just let me know which one and I'll try and send it out in the chat. Okay. So let's give this a listen. I just would love to hear your reaction. Anybody's reaction, drop it in the comments. Okay, just let me know.
Mr. Trump is an anomaly. He's someone that doesn't fit the norm. You expected a man to be like the other presidents. You wanted him to be more presidential. He's so transparent. You wanted him to put on a suit and act dignified, like the thieves and robbers that dress in suits and tell lies. You wanted him to be like that. He's telling lies, all right. And you're angry because he's your reflection. He's an anomaly. You can't make him what you desire him to be so that you can say, oh, that's my president. He wasn't made that way. God has him here. What did you say, Farakahn? Do you think that God is not interested in who is president of the United States of America? Especially when it's out of the time of evil? It's in our time now?
I just would love to hear what y'all think about that. Let me see here. Sorry. All right. There you go. All right. Moving on. Moving on. Okay. So. Oh, Oliver Anthony.
Yes.
We never did cover his song here. I mean, I almost made his song a part of the new intro. Okay. But, you know, we're just chilling. Because, you know, there's music has power, and there's like a spirit of sadness that I don't want to, you know what I mean? But I do agree with a lot of what he said in that song.
Absolutely.
And I very much relate with him on just about everything else. What does Oliver Anthony do when he gets on the biggest show in the world? He reads the Bible.
Keep your mouth free from perversity. Keep corrupt talk far from your lips. Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Give careful thought to the paths for your feet, and be steadfast in all your ways. Do not turn to the right or the left. Keep your foot from evil. But
that's pretty fucking profound.
But the whole book of Proverbs is like that. Like, it's not preachy. It's not what you think. Like, it's good guidance. It's like good guidance that you would want a father to give to his son.
Which I think, amen.
Amen.
And if you guys didn't know, Oliver Anthony was on Joe Rogan today. So, you know, be looking, there's going to be a lot of clips. I've already seen a couple. This would be, you know, another one of those that I've seen. And I liked it.
I did too.
Yeah. Wanted to dabble and talk about this just a little bit. Of course, everyone I'm sure is aware of Idalia, but I wanted to show you a little bit, if you haven't seen a lot, just some different perspectives of what's going on in in Florida, you know, with Idalia. And since, you know, us being down here in the South, we get hit with hurricanes. We just want you guys to see and to pray for those who have been affected, because, you know, some of it looks like this.
All right, Sarah. So we're going to step away from the seriousness of this storm for just 1 second. You got to bear with me, because this is something you don't see every day, guys. What are you doing? Literally, this is a very new way to beat rush hour traffic on Bayshore Boulevard in Tampa.
Some of it looks like this, and that's fun. Some of it just... Yeah.
Wow.
Which, you know, that's just kind of a portrayal But we do need to be praying for these folks, man, because just watch this water. Let me see if I can adjust it any better. Let me see here. On the fly. I mean, that's...
Wow.
Some wind and water, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is a time-lapse video from, I don't even know how to say it, Steinhatchee, Florida, early Wednesday morning as storm surge from Hurricane Idalia pushed ashore. Surge values could top over 10 feet in spots around this location, so a lot of flooding. Tough to see.
Okay. Be dorky. Put your tinfoil hat on.
Okay. Prepared for this. Okay. Check this out. We're putting on our tinfoil hat. Tiff had this made. It says unspecified podcast on it, which I thought was awesome, but it's legit. We're testing stuff out, y'all.
All right. What if, okay? All right. So we all know that weather modification is a thing that's being used. What if they're like, hey, DeSantis, why don't you work on this for a little bit and don't worry about running so much? You know what I'm saying? It just seems like he's going to have his hands full for a while.
Well, a lot of folks are not that deep in the rabbit hole where they absolutely believe that they have, like, weather capabilities.
Well, then that's just a lack of looking. Because it's all public. Like,
Right.
It's
It is a lack
it's
of
not
looking.
even a rabbit hole anymore.
Right.
It's literally just go to the websites.
It's either you know or you don't.
No,
And-
it's either you're willing to look at evidence or you're not. Some people, it doesn't matter how much evidence you put in front of them, they're not willing to look at certain situations. They're just not going to. It's too much. Like it's too overwhelming. And so, and that's fine. It's easier to just be like, there's no proof. But really it's
We're
like,
gonna
no,
go
there's-
over some
there's
tonight.
plenty
Yeah.
of proof. There's plenty of where it's literally just talked about openly.
Yeah.
It's just you're not willing to accept or look at that, and that's fine. That's fine.
A minute detail says, I'd totally rock one of those beanies.
I know. So originally we had set it up to sell, but the way that this particular vendor worked, y'all would have to order through us, and then we would have to order through them, or we would have to back order just and have stock, but we're not rolling like that. We can't just have, stock on hand. So, we just ordered one for Landon and that'll be it for now.
Anti, it's good to see you, brother. Yeah, hopefully we can order or figure out a way to get that on the store.
Yep. If we had a way, like a way to connect it where, when it ordered, but I think we'd have to have a website, and I don't know. It's all over
We're
my
working
head.
on it. We're working on it, but let's not get bogged down. Look at
That's
this. Okay, so prayers for these people. This is devastating footage of homes in Horseshoe Beach, Florida, going underwater within an hour during Hurricane Idalia. I mean, this is next level right here. All right, look at the structure of the trailer. All right, here comes the water. And then look, the water hits it, and it just has this crumple effect to it. See it bending?
Oh,
and the water hits it. It only hits it a little bit and just crumples it. I mean, it's like just that very subtle movement, but it's so much water that it's like, look at it. You see when it surges in like that?
Oh my gosh.
It's just taking it down.
Mm.
It's just in pieces. Because that water beats it up. That's insane. Okay. And how many millions have gone to Ukraine?
Right.
Billions. Wow. Well, prayers for these people, y'all. Okay, because God will make a way.
That's right.
And Nahum 1:3, y'all. Nahum 1:3. Let's see. So Hurricane Idalia has created tornadoes in South Carolina. Here is a video of a car being flipped on the highway. I pray the people in the car are okay. Stay safe, South Carolina.
Holy
I don't know if y'all can see that very well. It's very small.
It was dancing. It was on its tippy toes or its front headlight.
I mean, but you can all, I know it's so hard to see for the, because it's such a small video, but I mean, you can see the twister pick it up.
Yeah.
Okay. That's, wow. Okay.
Wind waves. Tinfoil hat. I must have love it.
Oh man. That's hilarious.
So yeah, lots. And what did it even, I don't even know what it hit as, but that was just the first one. We're not even into September yet. So hopefully, prayers for Florida, prayers for the Carolinas.
Yeah. Prayers and protection for all the coastal, anyone who could potentially be hit.
That's right.
We don't want another Sandy Hook.
No, Sandy Hook was the school. That was,
I thought that the storm
no,
also
it was Hurricane Sandy.
My
that
bad.
Hit the
Okay,
East Coast.
my bad. My bad. Sandy.
See, your
I get
tinfoil
those.
hats, it's all melting together.
It's thick. The tinfoil is thick.
That's right.
Okay. All right. So let's move into a little bit of urban decay. This is Seattle. So, be about your P's and Q's, be vigilant, situationally aware. Apparently this man was followed and then they used a taser on him.
Oof.
So notice the language they use as well. Also, this is what it is. So, I don't know, kids may not want to be in the room.
Come out of all that right now. Everything you got. Come out of everything. Get the turn, nigga.
Oh, you can hear it going off.
Yeah, for a long time. It goes off for a long time.
Oh, shit. Get the fucking ball. Get the ball. Nigga don't got nothing. Take the ring off. Take the ring off, nigga. Okay, nice. You can't get it off? You can't get it off? Try to get it off. Don't move. Hurry up. Shut up, nigga. Take the ring off. I'm trying to. Come on, bro.
We've got ring cameras. We're trying to find
I know.
324.
Thank God he's okay. But I have seen many videos like this recently of, and the other videos have been females where they're walking up to their house and in the process of, opening the door, somebody comes up behind them. Luckily, one of them, the girl got inside and locked the door before, the guys could get there. But
just in time.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But be vigilant, especially if you've got kids. Even if you don't have kids, just be looking around.
Yeah, that's right. Situational aware and eye contact. All right, let's keep moving. So some of us. There's always one of these, but it's good to see because some of us aren't taking it laying down. You know what I mean?
Right. Some people are not gun advocates, and that's fine. You don't have to be, but self-defense comes in many forms, and here is another one.
Well, look, some of us will not go into that silent good night. Okay.
I have comments to make after.
Okay, and Tiff, she saw this and she has just been wheeling with ideas ever since. So it's funny. It's pretty funny, but this guy is not having it.
Not having it.
You've heard about Texas homeowners using a gun to defend their property from folks breaking in. In fact, Texas law protects you if you do that in that scenario. It's called the Castle Doctrine. Typically, though, we don't hear about people using medieval castle-like weapons to defend the place. Wichita Falls police.
You said Castle Doctrine.
Arrested a man accused of sneaking into a home, and the homeowner stabbed him with a spear. reporter David Gonzalez spoke with that homeowner, Jimmy Morgan Jr., who takes over the story here. And a warning, some of the video is a bit graphic for some.
That window right there, he hit it really hard. Boom! And he came in through. I keep the spear right there. My bed is here. I reach up and grab it. And this door is open within 5 seconds, probably within 3 seconds. This door was open, and he was standing no more than 2 to 3 feet away from me. And I looked at him. I didn't see any weapons. However, I was terrified, so I hit him.
First of all, you know for a fact that he specifically went seeking this shirt
for this
before
interview.
this interview, the Night's Watch.
Night's Watch.
That's right. His name is Jimmy. I have dubbed him Jimmy Spears
Because he used a spear.
That's
but hold
right.
on, let's listen to him.
And so he started retreating, and I started advancing, and I was stalking him here. You never cross your legs, and I cornered him right here. The door was locked and shut. He was panicked at this point. He said, I can't get out, I can't get out. After fumbling and making a real disaster at this point of my door, he calmed down and opened it. And as he was running, he smeared blood from here to high heaven. And he splattered here, and then he splattered there, and splattered all over there. It was like a deer. I do a hobby. It's
Okay.
Splattered here, he splattered there, he splattered everywhere.
Like a deer, really.
He really made a mess of my door. Okay, go. Let him continue, because he's really trying to be a warrior poet here, the way he says it.
He's killing it.
called the SCA. It's medieval fighting. And we do use spears and swords and things of that nature. I don't have a firearm, so I have a short spear, very quick, very agile, and very deadly. He banged on my house, and with under a minute, I was up, had the spear, and I got him. I am a Christian man, and I don't want to take life. However, I want to make sure that he understands that his life was mine to take, and I let him have it.
And that's it. That's the quote, you know. This is Jamie Spears. Hit me, baby, one more time, you know. Like, I don't want to take your life, but I want you to understand that it is mine to take. That is the most real
That's
threat I have ever heard in my life.
Broke into the wrong house is right.
No
man.
joke. I mean, and the Night's Watch, yes, indeed. He's gonna live in that shirt now. So, and the hair, like he was relishing that moment as he was replaying it with the spear. Probably the same one, or maybe he replaced it. I don't know. The first one might be evidence. I just don't know.
By his shirt, flag, and excitement, he was waiting for a day like this.
Oh, yeah.
Spear in hand, just waiting. He definitely owns chainmail.
Absolutely. Because he does the medieval fighting. Okay. I have seen this at the Renaissance Festival because I too am a nerd. Okay. And so let this be a lesson that
his life was mine to take.
That's right. Some of these, medieval Renaissance things have real life applications.
Hit me, baby, one more time. Oh my gosh. I know. Castle Doctrine in full effect.
Jimmy Spears. I want to make a shirt. I want to make a shirt with Jimmy Spears, and I want it to say,
we've all got to have somebody to look up to, you know.
His life was mine to take.
That would be the best shirt.
Bring your fist to a spear fight. Wichita Falls police say they caught 25-year-old Tom McGowan after he led the chase. McGowan was treated and released from the hospital for his spear wounds. Then he went to jail. You've heard.
I got speared by Jim. Well, never mind. We're not going to go there. Anyway.
Peter Van Noort, what's up, brother, from the Netherlands? Good to see you. That's awesome. That's just wild, man.
Sure is. Oh, it made my day. Good job, Jimmy.
Okay. All right. So starting to get back into the sort of lockdown mask kind of frenzy. A fight broke out yesterday between Canadians protesting to mandate new lockdowns and masking, and a man who opposed the mandates. So one of these guys opposes this, and some of these folks are actually protesting for it. For masks and mandates.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Paid
Whose
for.
side are you on?
Bought and sold, dude.
Let's continue, and let's continue to. Hey.
Easy, guys, easy. You're fucking done. You're fucking done. Guys. Stay the fuck down. You're done. He attacked him.
Alright, I don't know what the hell's happening here.
Leave it. Let him go, dude. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go.
Why are you blocking my camera? Don't want people to see what happens at these things?
So stay here with us, and let's continue, to. Hey.
You can see the low testosterone energy at play. It takes two of them. Okay. All right.
It's a tussle.
Easy, guys, easy. You're fucking done. You're fucking done. Guys. Stay the fuck down. You're done. He attacked him.
Alright, I don't know what the hell's happening here.
Leave it. Let him go, dude. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go.
I can see the news article now.
Why are you blocking my camera? Don't want people to see what happens at these things?
I can see the news article now. 3 masked men attacked a pureblood.
Glow is right, Eli. The very, very bright glowing. Okay. All right, moving on. All right, so checking on Oregon.
This is in Portland's Hollywood district in Northeast Portland. One of our followers, their son's girlfriend, was thrifting, she says, for 15 minutes. Came out, someone broke all of her windows, pooped in the car, and smeared it all over the interior. I mean, you gotta be kidding me. Who do you even call about this? This is in Portland's...
Okay. Turd smear.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's terrible. I don't want the car. Just take the car. Let me get my,
Democratic cities, man.
Smear means it was personal.
It's only going to get worse,
That is kind of true. Like, you gotta really, especially not like somebody to, because that's unpleasant for the person doing it as well.
It certainly doesn't feel like it, Travis. Certainly doesn't feel like it. Let's check on New York City. Gonna careful with this song. Yeah, they'll immediately. Dude.
Ew, it's like our Knowles.
Wouldn't it be lovely to live there? It's just looking great this time of year, isn't it? Seriously. Come on.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have never. Oh my gosh. That guy was like squaring up. He wasn't going to move.
There are so many of them.
And you can see who the big bosses are. Good night.
Giving out orders to the little ones.
Sheesh.
Yeah, that's hardcore, man. That's hardcore. New Orleans is the exact same way.
Gross. No way.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Gross.
Worse than this. Worse than this. And you have these, districts that are like historic, and they've been there for a couple hundred,
Yeah.
old establishments, you know what I mean? And, rats everywhere.
Nasty.
Yeah. City life. Hashtag city life. City living. Right. Also, hashtag city life. Try that in a small town. So this is at like a hardware store, Lowe's or big box store. Home Depot.
This is spring, I got a food eat.
Is that a step? Yeah.
This is also in New York.
Ugh.
How did they even get that?
So what's the deal? Are we just not going to have stores soon? Or like, what's the other end of this?
I don't know, but we're seeing it coming. It means every common person is going to have to be treated like these folks. like criminals.
Oh, okay.
Well,
so
actually,
lose
I have
freedoms.
a store coming up here. Okay.
Mhm.
It's a lowered level of acceptance. It's going to turn it into like a ghetto. Everything's going to be boxed up, chained up inside of. You're going to have permission to get anything. You know,
That's right.
it's definitely changing the zeitgeist.
God the Son, Jesus Christ saves, says rats carried the plague. You know, on that topic, Landon's Instagram story today we were sharing, and it just brought to mind that, you know, back in the day of the bubonic plague, I have read stories about women in small villages where if a woman was caught whispering to herself, you know, and then a few days in this story I'm speaking of, a woman was caught whispering to herself, and a few days later the plague came to the town, and she was literally burned at the stake for witchcraft, because she was for simply whispering to herself. Okay, now apply that logic and think about the fact that we've got all these, you know, there's 2 different sicknesses, diseases that are being spread by mosquitoes, and before all this happened, you know, there was a certain billy goat whispering to himself and releasing stinking mosquitoes. Anyway, I digress.
Man. Okay, so this is something I wanted to read to you guys. USDA today announced $266 million in loans and grants to help agriculture producers, and rural small businesses investment in renewable energy and energy efficient improvements. This funding is made possible in part by POTUS Inflation Reduction Act.
That sounds like it's got a whole lot of strings attached.
I do think that we all need to start thinking and, you know, trying to get as energy independent as we can, as far as like, do your research with, you know, lithium ion batteries, lithium iron phosphate. And those are different types of batteries, or even if you can just afford, we should all have some like little projects going if we can. You know what I mean? Not that everyone can be into it. There's a huge learning curve, but maybe challenge yourself, because it's not that hard. You know, it's pretty simple. Get you some solar panels from Harbor Freight or online or however you want to do it. And, you know, just for, you know, let's say, you know, they start turning off the power, you know, for us to have our own independent power. For what? You know, I don't really know. Charge your phone. I guess you could just get a Jackery for all that. But I was thinking on a bigger scale.
Right.
You know, get yourself like a little bug out rig or something like that where you can have your own independent power. I would love to see that kind of stuff. I've been playing with solar to the best of my ability with, you know, on a budget, you know, and,
but ultimately it's just a comfort. I mean, it's a very useful, handy comfort, but, you know, I keep thinking about the scripture, in Revelations that says, when you hear the trumpet, don't go back, not even for your cloak.
Yeah. But I just, with them telling, you know, this is to help, you know, agriculture become more energy efficient.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if they do, you know, it'll give them more control necessarily to switch the electricity on and off.
Well, and they're like in this, they're going to control I can see that, like, I could see it being feasible that they control everything down to what you plant, where, how, you know.
Yeah, they want you to register your garden.
What you're spraying it with, because it's all about renewable energy. So like,
we'll start with chickens, right? Eli says chickens, in my opinion, and that's right. Like we have been doing chickens for probably the last 4 or 5 years, and we love chickens. We love chicken eggs, independent food coming in regardless of what's going on. It's you know, so many benefits to having chickens.
That's right.
For a little bit of responsibility. It is like anything, going to have a learning curve and, you know, kind of an entry point. And you don't have to have the best of everything. It doesn't have to be like a social media styled chicken pen. It doesn't have to be, you know, chickens are very hardy, and it doesn't have to be pretty.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You can do the best you can with what you have, especially if you're a hoarder like me that has a bunch of scrap supplies laying around that I just hobble things together with. And, you know, the chickens, they'll make do. You know what I mean? We offer security and, you know, a calculated amount of food, and they offer chicken eggs. They offer the eggs. So it's like a symbiotic relationship. The chickens live with us. We protect them. We feed them a little bit, pretty much, you know, leftovers and all kinds of different scratch grain and assorted different stuff. And you can go to the nines if you want, but they're really very simple with a large enough little setup. They'll forage. They're forage animals. Okay, just like goats. And I don't want to bog down too much on this, but I do believe that things are coming and things are taking a turn. And the more independent that we can become, the better off you'll be. All this, you know, environmental stuff, all these acts that they're doing, you know, like it's pretty clear now if it's good for the environment, it's bad for us.
That's right.
From an industry standpoint, when they say, oh, this product is so green, this process is so green, you know what I mean? Good for the environment means bad for you. You are the carbon that they want to get rid of.
That's
you know what I mean?
Right.
That's their number one goal. That's why we keep the Georgia Guidestones on, you know, our intro for now until we change it, because we're working on that. That the number one goal is to reduce the population. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. And, you know, anyway, we'll keep moving on here. Let's not get bogged down. So this is what like everyday town is looking like. You know what I mean? What? Like in your entry level jobs.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Okay, I get you.
Like, I mean, apparently there's a worker shortage going on. Like, you know.
Hey, look, so if any of y'all live in my area and y'all looking for a motherfucking job, please come to Subway at exit 16. I will hire you. I don't give a fuck about no felonies. I don't care about your background. I don't care what you're doing in the bathroom on your break. Give a fuck about none of that, right? Here's my only thing. As long as you ain't a diaper sniper or a pamper pillar, I'll hire you. Just please, somebody in this area, bring your lazy asses to work.
Wow.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm unfamiliar with those terms, but I'm putting it together. What in the world is going on?
Right.
I mean, it's like, and I'm not knocking this person.
No,
I'm just saying,
but this isn't the type of person you would expect to see begging for somebody to come to work.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to make a judgment call based on this individual's looks. You know what I mean? The terms that were used, and where we're at in today's society is so we're really somewhere. Is all I'm gonna say, and things are definitely, obviously taking a turn.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. All right. Moving on.
This is what it leans to. When you see, you know, the Lowe's or Home Depot in New York getting just, you know, ravaged. When you see department stores getting just looted.
Right.
All the cleaning stuff.
But this is not enough, because I've seen this overpowered by a butane torch, you know, and you know, I'm sure.
Well, eventually
others.
It'll go to where, you know, they'll start engineering around it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To where essentially you're going to walk into a Walgreens. It's going to be a front desk. You speak into the microphone what you want, and the robot rolls back into the stock room and gets it.
Did you see the self-driving Domino's car?
Well, we have that.
Oh, okay, cool.
The Walgreens on Curie Street, and as you can see, they have everything locked up. This is not freedom. This is ghetto. All the candy's locked up. All the vitamins are locked up. All the cleaning stuff is locked up.
So, you know, society as a whole, something You know, I think the guy said it good. You know, this is not freedom. This is ghetto.
Well, I mean, while he was there, you saw why, you know?
San Francisco. Checking
always.
in. Hey, I wanted to hear what you guys think about this. Or where are you guys at with your, you know, that's not my business, right? Okay. But as far as like car ownership, you know what I mean?
So here's a warning to all y'all out there leasing cars, trying to do a state inspection, and you can't plug in the OBD2 dongle because it keeps pushing up in there. So pull it down. It's because the dealership installed a tracking device. If you're leasing your car, check for one of these, see if you got a tracking device in there. And if you do, throw that shit away.
So, you know, just a warning to those who are leasing cars. You know, not that leasing is a bad option, but it seems like they intend to get their property back. You know, not that that's a bad thing. It's just, where are we at?
Wow.
You know, in society.
And that's probably even still considered old tech, because new tech are the cars that, yeah, it's just known and accepted that they know exactly where you are. The risky stuff is that it can drive itself back at any time, or can lock you out, or, you know, can be remote deactivated.
100% that if it's plugged into the OBD2 sensor, I don't know this for sure. I haven't verified any of this, but it could also be one of those things that if you don't make the payment, it'll shut the car off.
Right.
Or it won't allow the car. They'll just flip a switch in this thing that's plugged into the OBD2, and that's the bank that makes the dealer install that. If you have bad credit and are a risky loan, they put that on your car. So when the purchaser stops paying, they can find the car. Some places might install it on all new cars just as a time saver, but it won't be activated unless you are a risky loan. So I don't know where you guys are at on new cars. My truck's an 89 Frankenstein.
89 Frankenstein.
Yeah.
I like it.
Within London's ultra low emission zone. Okay. People are going around. We showed this last time. Multiple videos like this of people dressing up and basically they're known as blade runners. Okay. And what they do is they go and they take out traffic cams that are basically causing people are charged a daily fee of up to $17.50 for driving cars that don't meet arbitrary minimum emission standards, essentially making driving an unaffordable luxury for people who are already struggling to make ends meet.
Saving the country one pole at a time.
I know. And we've been seeing polls like this pop up. Have you guys noticed the cameras on poles with solar panels popping up around town?
Oh, yeah.
Taking pole saws.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say it. If you see somebody out doing this, don't record them, okay? Just be cool, man. Just be cool.
And Travis, there are some things about that particular subject that can't be disclosed. I'm just joking. Let's just say farm truck.
LOL.
You know, farm purposes and uses.
Moving on.
Pizza delivery with no driver. Okay, this is coming from Domino's.
Are you gonna drive it?
They are fed up with delivery drivers not showing up for jobs or doing whatever they want.
Or getting robbed.
Hi, Your Domino's is here. Input the last 4 digits of your phone number. The Domino's heatwave container is open. You can safely remove your order now. Thanks for using Domino's self-driving delivery vehicle.
Oh, that's cool.
Which it is kind of cool on the onset. Okay.
And no tip. Woo!
Okay. Well, I was a delivery driver for a long time, and I've delivered for every company: Papa John's, Domino's, Pizza Hut. Okay, even some you may not have even heard of, some small mom and pops. Okay, and I know from my extended time working in that industry that the drivers are the last ones that had a little power, because the corporate structure was encroaching so deep into these small little pizza joints that your drivers, they'd go on a smoke break, you know, or they just had a lot more say and power, you know what I mean? And you know, because they're also they have some skin in the game. Their vehicle's maintenance, the risk of you know, accidents, robberies, whatever, to where they even have red zones, gray zones, and black zones of, like, as in, like, this zone is a red zone. We will not enter there. So if you get, if you know,
Well, right, yeah, that's right.
and the old town that we used to live in,
Yeah.
a couple of neighborhoods,
Were
they
no-goes.
got no-go zones,
Yeah.
and yeah. So, you know, and these corporations, as we move into these times, they're not having this anymore. They're not having these drivers, since they think they have a little skin in the game. They, you know what I mean? That they, you know, basically Pizza Hut had to make a big payout because of a class action lawsuit about,
A delivery driver that had gotten
many delivery drivers had gotten together and signed a lawsuit where they all deserved a certain amount of money because basically the pay wasn't fair. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so they're done with this.
Well, I don't know. And you have to, it's like an Airbnb, like I know it's the last 4 of your phone number, but it feels like, you know, a pin or a code, like enter the code, it will open the window. I don't know. I don't know.
Weird. So, yeah, there's so much more. Okay.
People in charge of this country locked us in our homes, put a curfew in for months, banned weddings, banned funerals, banned Christmas, stopped us from seeing our loved ones, arrested or fined anyone who wouldn't comply, mandated a vaccine that doesn't work, mandated a mask that doesn't work. But to this day, they're not capable of showing the public evidence that it did work. Why? Because none of it worked. Other than dividing us, lying to us, scaring us, censoring thousands of good doctors, censoring millions with opposite views, destroying our world economy, and consolidating corporate and political power at the top. Tell me one good thing it did for us.
It got us to wake up.
The people?
Where are the people who are not filling these jobs? Where are the people not filling these jobs? Well, if I don't know if you guys have seen the new trends on like TikTok, they can make like $2,000 in like a few hours just by pretending to be an NPC character. There's all these little ways that people can go and make their own money.
When the kids ask us, or perhaps the grandkids, because our kids have been pretty well informed, but when the grandkids ask us when society started to fall, I think I'll tell them farts in a jar.
Farts in a jar was a big turning point. If you guys, I'm sure you guys are aware.
But that's where people are at. They're at home doing silly little thank you for the roses. Thank you for the roses. And you know,
and that's not all. You know, some folks are helping their grandma who's taking care of them.
Absolutely. And
because
some people are
they've spent time in the training that it takes to be a Domino's delivery driver. It's like, you know, 6, 7, 8 hours of these stupid little videos that no one wants to watch, with a manager who can tell you how to wear your hair, tell you how to, and in this day and age, if you can't tell with the tattoos and the styles, it's getting crazier and less corporate in the corporate environment. And a lot of folks don't, you know, they don't mend to that unless they have an absolute, there's like a, you know, whether they were trained well, as in like their parents raised them to work and have a good work ethic. But a lot of folks on the other side of the tracks, You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if that's an offensive term. I come from the other side of the tracks. You know what I mean? That they just don't jive with this clean cookie cutter manager who's kind of an ego trip all day and puts you down, and you have to take it because of, so people are desperate to find another way.
Yeah.
And so they find another way, and it's probably not tax applicable. And it's, in the guise of entrepreneurship, that you can make a lot of money with a pressure washer or with a welder, and with Harbor Freight, they're not hard to get.
That's true. That's true.
And if you're really about hustling, you can go make money. I don't know where they all are, but people don't want to go and be degraded because, there's going to be a quote unquote, an authority figure, someone who's in charge, a boss. And people are just tired of that corporate, they don't want this, And so some people have a good enough reason to go and withstand it and take it. And some people were taught to, and that it's okay and to let it go and to,
But, okay, so in regards to the Domino's card, look, here's one thing I see is that's one more company that's one step closer to, okay, well, if lockdowns were to come back around, Domino's can still deliver, because it's contactless. So they're ready to go for the next lockdown. And then additionally, in regards to what you were saying and where are all these people, I think more and more jobs are getting filled by robotics, like more and more jobs that are, kind of somewhat important, quote unquote important. Meanwhile, do you ever wonder if like YouTube and all this content creation was like kind of, I don't know, just kind of a carrot put in front of us to occupy us, to distract us while they're doing all this, and UBI is rolling out, and meanwhile, we're also obsessed with, being our own bosses and creating content, and YouTube is every bit as much of a slave driver as a boss or a regular job is, you know what I'm saying? Like, if anything, it's more, because, I mean, go ask a YouTube creator how much they're working, how many hours they're putting in, versus how many they would put in for just a regular job.
Yeah.
And you still have to, and it pushes you to do crazy things and spend crazy money and live these, it really kind of locks you in, and it can be exhausting. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah. That's funny. They were considered essential in Cali, and at least in Cali they were. All right. So we go from this. Okay. Now this is some graphic language, but I think a lot of people can relate. So warning to those who have children here.
Just watched a video. Joe Biden literally saying, they need to come up with a new vaccine, and they need to come up with a way that people have to take it no matter what. I'm going to explain something very fucking clear to you. And I'm sure a lot of people feel like this. The only difference is I got the fucking balls to say it. And I don't give a flying damn or fuck where this video goes. But I promise you, I was born free. And I will be damned if you make something to where I gotta take it. If you want to fuck around and find out the fastest way you can, do that shit. I'm going to tell you that right now, bitch. Do that shit. If the Democrat Party and the Joe Biden administration, I'm motherfucking serious right now. This ain't no threat. This ain't no nothing. This is a fucking promise. If you think for 1 second you're gonna force me to take any fucking thing that you tell me to do, I will fuck you up, homie. You and whatever motherfucking army you send in the process. It'll be a cold day in hell where I be told what to do. Bitch, this is not a dictatorship. This is not nothing. And you motherfuckers that follow this shit, don't fucking run up on me. I promise you, don't fucking run up on me. Because this ain't a motherfucking dictatorship. If you want to take the vaccine, do what the fuck you want to do. If a million other people want to take this shit you come out with, do what the fuck you want to do. But I know for a fact in this great country in United States of America, you can't fucking make me take nothing. And all y'all punk ass Republicans sitting around just doing all this talking, I don't want to hear no more talking for no more Republicans. I don't want to hear no more motherfucking talking for none of these Republican candidates. Because if you're a Republican candidate right now and you stand on a platform and you not got your ass out here trying to stop these people from what they doing, fuck you, and I mean that. I lose a lot of people. I don't give a fuck. I don't do this shit for the likes. But facts over feelings, and facts is facts, and the truth is the truth. All these fucking Republicans we got up talking all this shit and voicing all these opinions on Fox and on the news and on the Twitter, fuck that. You in a position where you can stop these folk. Y'all better stop them folk, because one thing about it is 85 million more motherfucking people like me that'll move your ass out they way for trying to step on my toes. So I promise you I want you to do this shit. I want you to think you gonna make me take some shit, Joe. Now, see, other lines you crossed, I ain't say shit, but this the line you crossing. Bitch, make me. I'm waiting on the day that you think you gonna make me take some shit that ain't got nothing to do with me. And I stitched that shit. Go watch the video, go get the clip. But if y'all motherfuckers think y'all bold, the government, whoever the fuck you are behind this, if you so motherfucking bold and you think you gonna make me take something, do it, bro. Try that shit. I so want y'all to try that shit. If I ain't never asked for anything in the world, if you really feel like we gonna get to the point, you really think you finna cause another pandemic, and you think you gonna force me to do something, but try that shit. That's all I got to say. Everybody else, y'all can do all that bluff shit. Y'all can do all that mean up shit. I ain't mean the motherfucking thing. The only thing I'm waiting to meet is the day that you motherfuckers think you gonna force me to do anything.
That's a great idea, Birdie Boy. That guy's on his own, eh?
Well, I think that's interesting. What Birdie said about they said I got my shot.
Oh, really? Yeah,
for
that
3 days.
Yep, and then on the 4th day, huh? Very interesting. What'd y'all think about what this guy said? Relatable.
Pretty relatable.
Moving on.
I like what Travis said. Want to dance?
Now you just strum a little guitar in the background and poof, it's a hit.
Okay, so I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this. This is about our current...
on this day in 2021.
I'm supposed to get a mammogram and a bilateral ultrasound on my boobs because there's a lump in there. And the lady called me and she's like, do you know how much it's gonna cost? Like, she told me. I was like, no, I didn't know I had to pay. And she's like, yeah, it's gonna be $801. And I was like, you can cancel the appointment. I'd rather die. And she said, no, you can do a payment plan. So I called the payment plan people and they were like, if you do a payment plan, we're gonna charge you $232 for 4 months. So that goes up to $930. So almost $1,000 to get these 2 tests done. And I said, okay, thank you. I'm gonna cancel it again. So I called the doctor in Tijuana, Mexico, and he was like, yeah, for mammograms, I charge $189. It would be cheaper for me to book a flight tomorrow to Mexico for like $400, get a mammogram for $189 and come back, then drive down the street and get a mammogram in Texas.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. So,
Dang.
Yeah. And they're talking about, insurance restructuring for because things have gotten so insane.
Yeah.
With the
Hey, well,
insurance.
as things get crazier and crazier, I'd just like to point out, don't all the way rule out, other countries for medical if maybe certain places have medical rules that don't let certain types of people,
Well, if they do a lockdown, it won't be an option.
But I'm just saying that, because there for a couple of decades, the thing was a lot of people were coming over from other countries to get Western medical training.
Yeah.
And then going back to their countries. So, it's not like the whole world is a third world country compared to the United States medically. So
these days.
That's right. And you know what you lack in knowledge? Just YouTube, because that's what our people are doing anyway.
So, whether, as you would say, modification or as you would say, manipulation, just listen. We were talking about this earlier.
Going to get controversial, perhaps. Cloud seeding is something that I studied in school for meteorology, weather modification. Back when I went to school, it was like I've poo-pooed a little bit. It was too expensive. It's not efficient enough. Well, guess what? When you get desperate and then technology gets better, 20 years later, here we are. Cloud seeding is ramping up so big. You see me there showing that flare on the plane. They send silver iodide into the clouds, and then it makes it snow more. So they can't make a cloud, right? But they're taking storms that are already there and then giving it a little boost. So that part's not new. What's new is they have hundreds of these ground cloud seeders. So they're actually puffing the silver iodide with a flare. And you see, I think I have a picture of the actual ground cloud seeder into the air. That thing sits all over the Rocky Mountains, all over the American West. 10 states are doing this. And I wanted to tell this story because my friend Russ is the state climatologist of Colorado. And he said, you got to see what's happening with cloud seeding. It is huge, and it's only getting bigger by next year.
And we know that things can change. We saw it during the pandemic. There was, the waterways in Venice cleared up.
That's right.
We saw what can happen when we're much better respectful of the earth.
Here's where it's also...
I mean, come on. It's not new. The stuff is old.
Not new.
Okay. Vietnam, they were messing with the weather there.
That's right.
Okay, let's not get bogged down. How big of a conspiracy theorist are you? Hear me out.
All right, now you got to move on. You got to do the others. No. The fan over. Mm-hmm.
The new tinfoil hat
is blue. Mm-hmm. And this one.
Me and the crew pulling up in Maui.
But doesn't it make you think, okay, your tinfoil's hat's on, hear me out. What does everybody know the song as? I'm blue. If I was green, I would die. Right? Does anybody else know? I know it's I would die, right? But it sounds like I'm blue. If I was green, I would die. Okay, and I'm just going to drop that off there, and you just think about that.
Okay.
I'm blue.
We'll okay. All right. Keep it moving. All right. But there are some pretty important questions that still need to be answered about Maui.
Now we're hearing reports that over 2,000 children right now are unaccounted for in Lahaina public schools 2 weeks following the fire. And this is according to the Hawaii State Department of Education. This is not according to a TikToker. This is not according to Twitter. This is according to the Hawaii State Department of Education, who is documenting who's showing up in school and who isn't. So for anybody out there that tries to snoop, so we'll come out here and they'll try to say, well, we're fact checking this with our BS meter and we're going to just automatically deflect on any stories about it. Well, then maybe you should turn to the people you look up to the most, which is the government, who are even admitting in Hawaii that over 2,000 children have not shown up yet to school. Now, we all obviously have heard reports from so many people in Maui, so much so that even local media outlets have picked up on the story, claiming that the numbers that they're giving in regards to the amount of people missing is nowhere near. In fact, the number seems to be edging closer to the amount of people that we lost on the 11th of September. Yet you don't hear this pumped and pushed as a national tragedy. Why? Well, too many people were too suspicious of what they saw with their own eyes. Now,
what do y'all think about that?
What do you think about that? Never Go says, why can't they make rain to put the fires out? But you see, you got to flip that and ask it backwards. What if they don't want to put the fires out? What if the fires cause mass displacement, so people have to leave? Okay. Also, it allows distribution of wealth, so that way, if it's ruined, they'll come in and buy it for pennies on the dollar rather than have to pay full price because you're there, your house is there. So they get you to go away with the fire and your house to go away and the value to go away. So they buy the land up so they can build back better, just working the logic the other way around. And I'm not saying, you know, however it was started, okay? Because I'm not sitting here saying it has to be some big grand, you know, laser beams. But, you know, we've been seeing this kind of stuff for a while. You know, it used to be a joke on our show, but back in like 2020, 2021, laser beams,
right?
You know what I mean? And that they have technology that the general public isn't privy to.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It's just not in the common zeitgeist for the, you know, basic, you know, everyday folks, everyday Joes that are, you know, living normal life, going to work and whatnot. Unless they're weird conspiracy theorists, which, you know, that doesn't, I mean, just because you've done your research and you know I mean, you can go look on Lockheed, Skunk Works, Raytheon, all this information is just on their websites, you know, about that they have this technology. Look up DARPA, you know.
Yep.
Anyway, moving forward. Okay. So this is actually kind of a long one. I don't know if you guys are into this kind of stuff. I just wanted to hear it out. It's a Rapture dream. Goes over Rapture, earthquake, World War III, fake alien attack. Okay.
Good afternoon. It's me, Chris. I'm here with my third video. No, I don't post videos on YouTube just for the heck of it, you know. I had another dream that the Lord has sent me. Now, this dream was very vivid. This is the first time I've had this dream, and you know, there are parts of it that I understand, and there are parts of it that I do not understand. But I know that it was from the Lord, and He gave me a direct message to give to the people. And at the end of the dream, the message was so direct that it's for everybody, those who are for Him and those who are against Him. So in the dream, it starts out where I was out in Utah. You know, I have never been to Utah in my life. I don't even have the opportunity to travel very often. And I was out in Utah, driving around, sightseeing. And as I'm driving around, I'm looking at mountains, and there's snow-capped, you know, the snow-capped mountains and everything out there in Utah. And as I'm driving around, it just starts to rain. It starts to rain, then and it gradually increases in intensity to where it goes from rain to, you know, a deluge. And then it goes to hail. And then, you know, as it's hailing, you know, the ground starts to shake. And those same snow-capped mountains that I was out there sightseeing and just looking at, taking pictures of, they started to just crumble. You know, like when you're a kid and you play with dirt rocks and stuff, and you can just crumble a dirt rock, you know, crumble a dirt rock in your hand to where it just falls in between your three fingers. These mountains were just crumbling like dirt rocks, you know. And as that's taking place, it's still raining and hailing and everything. And then I look, and next thing you know, the Rapture hit. Now, I got caught up, but after I got caught up, it was like my perspective stayed here on Earth. But me physically, I was not here. My body was not here. It was like I was just seeing through eyes, and that was it. Immediately, it seemed like almost immediately after the Rapture hit and the saints were caught up, it was like the government has been waiting for it to happen so that they can have a certain like agenda that they want to put out there to try to explain what happened, rather than, you know, what being the truth is the Rapture, and that God sent his son Jesus to take us out of here and to meet him in the clouds. But the government came out almost immediately and said that it was an alien attack, an alien abduction. And once that took place, once the government came out and said that, they said it was an alien abduction, they began to, instead of, you think if there's an alien abduction, which there is no, it's not aliens, it's demonic spirits, you would think that they would be shooting, you know, missiles and whatnot, you know, into the sky, which has happened before, but I'm not even gonna go there. That's happened before. The military has done that, but they're shooting at the people. You know, the military was shooting at people, taking people out, and all this chaos is going on. While those mountains are being toppled over, I'm looking up and I'm seeing jets flying over and they're dropping nukes, nuclear warheads, and just destroying everything. And as I'm looking around, I see a man standing there in a white shirt with long sleeves. The sleeves were red, but his shirt was white. And he's sitting there and he's mocking God. He's blaspheming. He's you know, mocking God, mocking Christians. He's saying like, "Oh, come save me, Jesus." He's just, you know, just mocking, disrespectful. And as I'm sitting there looking at him, I see what looked like a gorilla almost. It looked like a gorilla was coming running came from like the far end of the of my perspective, and it just ran like across. Giant gorilla ran across, and it looked like something was riding on his back. Now, I don't know what was riding on his back, but there was something like someone riding on his back, like controlling him, and he's just trampling through the people. I don't know what that represents as far as the gorilla itself, but it was definitely happening. And as that gorilla ran across from my perspective, when I turned to look towards my left, I saw a boy, a young Caucasian boy. He's sitting there and he's just staring at me with the coldest, blackest eyes. He had like no pupils. His eyes were just pure black. And everybody that was there in the dream could not see me because, one, I was taken up, but that little boy, he was able to see me. And as he's standing there just looking at me and I'm looking at him, you know, I said, "Hey, I believe in Christ." And he fled. Whoever that boy was, he almost looked like Damien from Omen, them old movies. He looked and he fled. He took off, gone, just ran. You know, he wanted no part of that. And then I'm continuing to look around, and I'm seeing my surroundings, and there's just people, you know, looting, rioting, going crazy. People are just like freaking out, you know, doing whatever first, you know, came to their minds. And then I heard a voice, which I believe was God. I know it was God. He said, "Tell my people to get in line." And me in the dream, I'm yelling, I'm shouting at the top of my lungs, "People, get in line, get in line, get in line, get in line." The majority did not care. They did not care. They did not heed those words. And there were a few that did end up getting in line. But the majority did not care. They didn't care one bit. And as I'm shouting, I'm telling people, "Get in line." And I'm still hearing God saying to me, he's saying, "Tell my people to get in line." So he said, "It's time for people to wake up." That's exactly what he said. He said, "It's time for people to wake up. And then he repeated again. He said, wake up. Then he said, wake up again. And when he said, wake up again that time, I woke up immediately out of that dream. And I looked at my phone at the time, and it was 8 o'clock on the dot. Now, that may not sound like much to people when they hear 8 o'clock. Some people are probably like, who cares? But 8 is the number of completion. 8 is the number of God's completion. He created the world in 7 days, and then on the 8th day, everything was completed. He rested on the 7th day, and on that 8th day, everything was completed. So I do believe there was significance in the fact that I woke up and it was 8 o'clock on the dot, not 7:59, not 8:01, 8 o'clock on the dot. And so, like I said, there's some parts of that I don't understand, as far as the gorilla that was running and who was riding on his back. But I understand that message, and the message is for the people of God. Get in line. Time is short. We do not have the time that everybody seems to think that we have. That rapture is going to take place soon. We are in the 70th week, the 70-year prophecy in Daniel. Israel's still in the birthday. They're still celebrating birthday. So people need to get in line, because Christ is coming, and he's coming very soon. He's coming very soon. I can't stress that enough. We're going to see the King. Jesus Christ is the King of Kings, Lord of Lords. He is the Messiah. He is the Son of God. And God is going to send him. He's going to take the church, those who are in the church, the people who are the church, the people are the church. He's going to take us. That's why we are the temple. If God rests in you, then the Holy Spirit is in you, is in us. He's going to take us out of here. We are the bride. He's going to take us out of here. We do not have the time that we think we do. So just get in line. If you take anything from this message and from that dream, get in line.
So that's, pretty basic. Like, we could talk about this for a while. You know what I mean? I'm not going to bore you guys. Get in line sounds like straighten up.
Right. And I see there's been so many different people with so many different, what they say is prophetic dreams. And, they're all kind of different, but they all share one thing, myself included, which is, a doomsday, an apocalyptic scenario, if you will, where, rapture or whatever, whatever, but the end of earth as we know it, or the end times. I think that different ones that God.
I think Unspecified V nailed it. I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. Acts 2. You absolutely nailed it. I wanted to look that verse up, and you threw it in there, and I appreciate that so much. Thank you, Unspecified V.
Speaking
My new
of
detail,
appreciation,
brother, have a good night. We appreciate the super chat. Super chat, we thank you so much, man. Bro fist, boom. Thank you so much for that. Prayer request for a young man named Matt, who I met tonight at church. He is going into the service soon and is feeling a way about it. Please pray for God to be with him and to guide him. If you all would please join us, adding Matt to our prayer request. Add him to the list. You know what I mean? Let's pray. We need to pray for everyone, all those in authority, and our enemies.
That's right.
And we need to pray, for the Father to bless everyone, to heal everybody, mind, body, heart, and soul, and to protect them from the enemy.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? Because we have a common enemy. It's a spiritual war. Okay. And they're coming to change. They want to mess with your thoughts. They want to mess with your attitudes. They want to steer your day into a negative, so that you will spread negativity. You know what I mean? And we have to capture those thoughts. Okay. and bring them under the obedience of Christ. It's so important to do that. And it's so important to tell God that you love him, that you trust him, to resist the devil, okay, and to praise him, and his face will shine radiantly upon you, and basically, change that day, because all you have is today.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Tomorrow's
right.
not promised. Yep. So, and each and every day is a blessing. You wake up, you're blessed. To wake up, you're blessed. Tomorrow's not promised.
That's right.
So if you woke up, you have been blessed. And that is special. That is important. You know what I mean? And you're breathing, you're even more blessed. You got both feet, you got both hands, you have mobility,
Eyesight,
you have strength, you have, it's just so, we're definitely going to be praying for Matt. Please add him to your prayers. And a minute detail, thank you so much for that super chat. This episode has been brought to you partially by a minute detail. Please go check out his channel. Link was up in the chat earlier. If someone would grab that link and go sub up to his channel, looking very forward to the content that you put out, brother. And I hope that you have a great night, you and your wife and your family, man.
And hey, I did want to, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I did want to say thank you. Look, y'all, we had like 3 or 4 orders. I don't remember, but thank you to everybody
who ordered something off of the merch site.
That's right.
I have been wanting to say thank you so much, guys. Some folks got a hoodie. Some folks got a mugshot mug.
A mug.
Some folks got t-shirts of some of Tiffany's designs.
That's right.
And she has worked really hard on those, and we are trying to take this serious. And it's it's just something that me and my wife work on, and any little bit that y'all do, if you want to click the link in the description and head over to the store and just go bring traffic to it, that's a blessing. And maybe try and, look and see if there's something that you might like.
That's right.
They got some stickers in there. Some stuff's not ridiculous. And I know that it's ridiculous, but it's the way that it works as far as, we try to make it to where we have as little profit as possible, which is why you hear me push the merch store so much, is because we've set it to where we have almost no profit, and that if you guys are going to super chat or donate, that you guys also get something in return.
Right.
And not just, a show that anyone can access for free, but you get something that's yours, that you can have. And you never know.
But if everybody likes these tinfoil hats, we may put an order in and just do a small batch sale.
Yeah. If you're interested in the tinfoil hat,
we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. But thank you to everybody who ordered. We really appreciate y'all, and it makes me feel good because I like to design stuff and yeah. So anyway, enough about that. John, what is up? Good to see you.
Good to see you, John. Good to see you, brother.
V, you got a hoodie. That is awesome. Thank you so much.
That is awesome. Thank you for dropping those links. You are awesome. And don't forget our code earlybird for 10% off. Some of those designs will not last forever. So get them while you can, 10% off.
That's right.
And they very well may be gone soon.
That's right.
And we're going to have kind of a rotation.
That's right. Hey, I was just thinking about it, and okay, we have Jimmy Spears that defended his home with the spear, right?
Right.
I don't know if y'all remember, but last episode or the episode before, there was another spear. Somebody was on the road and they threw it through a car window. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. We didn't get to show that.
Are we seeing an uprise in spears?
Well, I mean, I think if you don't have a spear, you should go and get one. That, they can be found at, Academy, at, Cabela's, Bass Pro Shop, online. Get yourself a good spear. I brought this over because we were just talking about the merch. I just wanted to show it to anybody who may not have seen it.
No, don't show it. Let them go see.
Oh, okay. She likes the views.
I know. I
so
don't
if
even,
you guys want to
I
go
don't
over
even
there,
care about the orders. I just like the views.
I'm ready to be unspecified. LOL. Yes, indeed. That's awesome. We love you guys, and thank you so much to everyone who went and got some merch over there on the merch store. It's such a blessing.
That's right.
Anyway, let's keep moving forward. All right. Let me see here. I am
spear, like
a spear, like
You throw a spear like cavemen threw spears.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me try
or
and
Britney
see
Spears.
the. I'm gonna try and look up an image of the spear I have. I wonder if he used that kind.
Yeah.
I bet
Both
his was a
of
lot
them.
more like authentic.
Well, in the video he had a sword, but I suspect that the spear was taken as, or maybe he had a backup. I don't know. It's okay. It's just a spear.
I know. This is the random kind of stuff. See, I suspect that he had something like this, way more authentic. Like, I mean, and that sucks for the robber. I mean, you want the more authentic you get with a spear, the more hardcore it gets. We'll see. I thought they have modern spears. This right here, boom. This is the exact one. Okay, and they're relatively cheap.
Right, like $50.
I don't even think it's that much. I don't even think it's that much. But this is the spear that we have. Okay.
That's right.
It's known here in Louisiana as a pig sticker. And there are these elite groups of Cajuns that get together and they do hog hunts with no firearms. So they use dogs, teams of dogs, to hunt down packs of hogs. They use the dogs to go after the hogs. It's really interesting. They have one dog that's a pin dog,
right,
and the rest of the dogs are blood trackers or trackers. And they basically watch, they all have GPS collars, and they watch on a GPS handheld device where the dogs are. And whenever they stop, that means they found something interesting, and you go to the dogs with the pin dog, which is the main dog.
That's right.
And that's like usually a bull terrier or some sort of pit bull.
Sometimes they have like Kevlar vests on.
They have
and
Kevlar
stuff,
neck protectors and vests on them so
in
that
case the pig tries to tusk them.
bore them. Yeah. And they'll walk up with these pig stickers, and I mean, it's those things that is thick. Like, I mean, like it's a very thick chunk of, and they're very effective apparently. And they they walk up and they either use a knife or a spear. Anyway, moving on from the spear talk. I'm into spears, especially after that last story. Okay, so let's listen to this. Checking in on China.
This is absolutely insane.
Them and to prevent them from becoming Christians.
In one example from a high school textbook, a Communist Party revision of John chapter 8 about the woman caught in adultery says, Jesus once said to the angry crowd who was trying to stone a woman who had sinned, "He who is without sin among you, let him cast a stone at her." When his words came to their ears, they stopped moving forward. When everyone went out, Jesus stoned the woman himself and said, "I am also a sinner."
We have seen the escalation. The Bibles for children is totally forbidden, and all the Bible apps were forcibly removed from every e-commerce app store. Millions of Chinese Christian children were forced to sign a form renouncing their faith.
We need to be praying for China, man. For more Kingdom content, click follow or subscribe.
My boy Cap, love Cap Chatfield. Dude's awesome. You guys should follow him. This dude's awesome. Love his content. And I think that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they want the population to think of Xi, their leader, as like a god.
Right.
And
I know in North Korea with Kim Jong Un, they look at that family as a deity. Anyway.
So I find this interesting. Everyone in the comments is quoting Revelations 22:18, which is, "For I testify to everyone who hears the words of the prophecy of this book, if anyone adds to these things, God will add to him the plagues that are written in this book."
All right, so watch for China.
Yeah. China, are you okay? That's right, Eli.
That's right.
Yeah. Don't be adding and subtracting from the Bible, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? His word is protected. Okay. I thought that this was cool. If Psalm 91 was a video.
这好像是录的。
哎呀，行啊，可以啊，离得更近了。啊，你看这捕食眼睛，眼睛盯着直了。哎呀，看，
他在玩儿，在玩儿，在玩儿。哎呀妈呀！
哎，这就跟那个视频里那一样的。
哎呀，他不要吃它，你知道吗？他拿当
太吓人了。
这边来的，这边来的。
它在咬。李诺，
这手是跟那个。
我看到了。哎呀，他还受过手。
哎呀！
我还不敢看呢。
那边有长颈鹿。
So, I mean, declare Psalm 91 over yourself. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God. In Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. And that would be Jesus. Okay. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. It should not come near you. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling, or near thy dwelling. And that's Psalm 91, y'all. It's yeah, he's good. He is good. It's a good song. Okay. Jesus told the story of the prodigal son to make this point. It doesn't matter what you've done. God just wants you to come home. That's it. Okay? That's what that was about. He just wants you to come home. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34:18. He's close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Go do and don't worry, y'all. Don't let this stuff,
overcome you.
Yeah. So John 16:33. Okay. He told us that in this world we would have tribulation. So that means we're going to have trouble here. Trials. We're going to have troubles. Okay. But he says this in John 16:33 that you might have peace in him. He says, be of good cheer. So don't let the troubles of this world bother you, that he has overcome the world. So in this world, you will have trial, you will have trouble, you will have tribulation. That is a thing. It's a fallen world. Sin is here. That's right. And it's making everything worse. Folks greedy. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and the rulers of wickedness and unforeseen places. And, that you will have trouble here.
That's right.
But be of good cheer. Does that mean no, you got to go against those voices. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Any negativity that you might be having, that there is an enemy trying to whisper in your ear through songs, through TV, subtle subliminal messaging, to make you feel hopeless. But Jesus is our hope.
That's right.
He has overcome the world.
That's right.
Okay. Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. Amen. He has plans to give you a future and a hope. He doesn't have plans to harm you.
Right.
You know what I mean? He is a good father.
Amen.
Okay, I wanted y'all to see this. 2 Timothy 4,
2 and 3, I think.
Let's see. All right. in season and out, when it is convenient and when it is not. Correct and rebuke your people when they need it. Encourage them to do right, and all the time be feeding them patiently with God's word. For there is going to come a time when people won't listen to the truth, but will go around looking for teachers who will tell them just what they want to hear. They won't listen to what the Bible says, but will blithely follow their own misguided ideas. Okay? And we got to watch out for that.
That's right.
Because in these days, especially in the colleges, you have a lot of educated people who are very misguided.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
You know, they think that they learned some stuff, and
education is not wisdom.
And little did they know, while they were being educated, they were being indoctrinated.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And they're very misguided, you know? And they stand up and fight for things like lockdowns and masks and ideological fallacies because someone told them to. You know what I mean? Again, they're being misguided because they've been conditioned to be misguided and to listen to misguidance.
That's right.
You know, in these days, you got to watch out, guys. We got to be using discernment and wisdom, and to, you know, seek out to God for wisdom, because it's His wisdom. Anyway, guys, that's about it. That's about all we've got. We love you guys, and we thank you so much for hanging out with us. I hope that there was something informative or something that you enjoyed about our podcast this evening. And we thank each and every one of you guys for being here with us.
If you have any articles that you see that you'd like us to bring up, please feel free to send it to us at unspecifiedpodcastemail@gmail.com or on Instagram.
Instagram is going to be the most direct way to get in touch with us. Is at Unspecified Podcast. I think I put the link in the in the comments earlier. But you know, we just want to say we thank you and we love you guys. You could be anywhere else in the world. You could be doing anything, but instead you're hanging out with us and going over what's really going on. And
the raw data.
Yeah, the raw data. The raw data, which is the raw data. Yeah.
Kelly, what's up?
Kelly, good to see you. Good to see you. What time is it over there across the pond? There's no telling. There is no telling. And it is time for bed, everyone. So we thank you so much for hanging out with us, guys. Until next time, guys, go do and don't worry. All right. That we need to focus on on you know, improving the situations that we have with what we have, and not stress out that God's going to make a way for us, and to go to Him, because that's so important. That's who we need. You know, specifically in Jesus' name. 7:30 in the morning. Cool. A little bit after 7:30. That's awesome. 7:30. Probably, what? Let me guess. 7:38, 7:39, something like that.
Well,
no.
yeah.
No, I don't know. Look, we love you guys. Let's see here. Of course, I'm going to try and pull a merch plug, but more important than the merch, okay? All right? We've got some stuff that we really think is cool, okay? Some shirts. Some stuff's louder than others. More important than the merch is, if you want to help us out, smash like on the screen, on this stream, and comment down below, okay? After the stream is the most helpful, that, or to send this out to loved ones, family, like-minded friends, to share the stream. Post this link wherever you can if you want to help us, and you know, tickle the algorithm. You know, apparently they like comments. That's the most beneficial thing to help them show us to new people, which they will not do in this day and age, especially with the...
Which they will not do.
They will not do, based on the topics that we cover, and as we get closer to 2024, and apparently if we piss off Europe, you know, if a diplomat in Europe doesn't like what we do or say, or somehow, you know, apparently that's going to have far-reaching effects coming up in the future. So just be on the lookout for that, guys, and make sure that you're subscribed and click the notifications. Because of our random upload schedule, we try to get 1 or 2 episodes out a week. But, you know, we work multiple jobs. and we're usually very tired, just trying to pay the bills, and we would like to do this more reliably, and it would be a lot less unspecified if basically if we could get this more established. We could be on a better schedule, but as for right now, we're so everywhere between the farm and going to work,
trying to help family, trying to
yeah. So yeah, comments in the comment section down below after the video is the best way to help. But other than that, we love you guys and we thank you so much for being with us. We're praying for you guys. Please keep us in your prayers. And be smart, guys. Be about your P's and Q's, situationally aware. Do the things. Go and do the things. The things that you need to do just in case the power goes out. Yep. And what comes to mind when the power goes out? You know what I mean? There are tons of sources that you can go to, prepper channels. I mean, they've all kind of become pseudo-political. I don't know. A lot of prepper channels don't really focus on preps. I guess Southern Prepper 1 is pretty good.
But if you search it.
But if you look up specific topics, it's hard to know the specific topics, though. I guess look up basics. Basically, it's water is so important. Right. Having a water plan. Yep. Okay. For a lot of folks that live in the cities or suburbs, okay, you have city water. A lot of folks have well water. Well, if they turn the electricity off,
right.
You know what I mean? Or if the electricity goes off for whatever reason,
well, you don't have water.
Right. Because of an electric well, you might not have water. So having a water plan, food, water, shelter, a way to protect it is generally, and look, oh, Kelly, bro fist, so much love.
Look at you.
And this episode
in pounds
is partially brought to you by Kelly S. Thank you so much for that $20 super chat.
She's fully converted now. She's donating
in pounds. Wow. Our first pounds. That's cool. It's so important though. And I think now is the time to start getting our brains kind of geared up. I'm sure a lot of you are already there as far as thinking in this direction. Beans, peanut butter, you know what I mean? Some shelf stable stuff. And I know you could go with the glitz and glamour of the, My Patriot Supply and the dry, what is it called? Freeze dried, 25-year shelf life food. Right. But it wouldn't hurt to have some MREs, stuff like that for emergencies.
Why are beans a prepper's most favoriteest thing?
Why?
Because they provide food and warmth later.
All right, we're going to end on that.
I just made that up right now.
Bank account is in pounds. What? I can't donate in them fancy schmancy American bucks.
You mean those Monopoly monies?
The Monopoly dollars? Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Kelly. All right, guys. Thank you so much for everybody who went and got merch on the store. I truly thank you guys. And I wish that I could see you guys with it, but I know that with the anonymity of the platform and like YouTube folks don't really like showing stuff off, and
if it gives you any comfort, we have no idea who's ordering any of their information or where they are. I always thought that. I always thought when I was ordering from people, like, oh, they're going to see.
Yeah, so, it just tells us, like, what was ordered.
Yep.
Yeah. And believe it or not, you go over to the, if you click the link in the description, go over to the website there, the merch store. You know, it basically, it will show traffic, but it doesn't say anything, you know, about like where the traffic came from or anything like that.
Right.
But that always makes Tiff's day.
My day. Yep.
She loves watching the views go up on the website because she worked really hard on that.
And I got more coming.
And she's got more ideas coming. So please indulge my wife's artistic idea.
That's fair. That's fair.
No. Anyway,
I wish we could sell woodwork on you know, we need a website is what
we need a legit website.
I don't know how to do all that.
We're working on it, guys. We're working on it. See, Shelly, I hope it's a good morning. And anyone else coming from across the pond. Anyway, guys, we got to hit the hay because we actually have to be up in not too long. And I have a butt ton of physical labor to do. Okay.
I could be asleep in 5 minutes.
5 minutes. All right, guys. We love you. We'll see you on the next one. You guys, stay up out there. Don't worry. Go do and don't worry. We'll see you on the next one. Okay.
You don't literally have to stay awake. Like, go to sleep. It's cool. We're going to sleep too. But, like, don't go to sleep, in your brain. Just your eyeballs.
All right, guys. Bro fist in the chat. I want to see him. Bro fist him. I'm going to hang here awkwardly until you bro fist. Smash the bro fist emoji. Find it. Find the emoji and smash it. I'm having trouble seeing the chat. Oh, I can see it now. God bless. Love you guys. We'll see you on the next one. Bro fist. Bro fist. Now. Oh no. Oh no.
And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Robotics. ABC News.
Hey, good work.
Russian troops continued their offensive operations in and around Bakhmut during
Get up, pick up your mat, and walk.